When you are married, you dress to please only 3 people. Number 1, God. Let God be pleased no matter who is offended. Number 2, your spouse. Number 3, yourself. Every other person is a noise of the market. Dress well. I went to visit, to commiserate with one great person that lost his wife. And I wanted to sign the condolence register. And I saw a statement that drew my attention. Don't worry, sir. We will take care of you. Some people are waiting. Train your child. Give your child spiritual value. Number 2, give your child societal value. There's beauty in honor. Give your children societal value. Let them know who to genuflex, who to kneel down to greet, who to bow to greet. Let them know they should obey traffic lights. Let them know they should obey the police. Let them know that when the national anthem is being sung, they should stand. Teach them at home. Give them societal values. Marriage hardly changes people.
Learn to say thank you. And the same thing with the women. Learn to say thank you.
People come to me and say, Pastor, I'm unlucky with love. Nobody's unlucky with love. You are unlearned, uninterested, uninvolved, uncommitted, not unlucky.
Can you love your wife and trust love the church and still have crisis? No, you didn't. You are using your wife. Can you submit yourself to your husband and still have crisis? No.
Let me tell you this truth. It may be bitter. If you know you cannot respect a man, don't get married. Your husband may be as short as a bottle. He's your husband. You cannot be treating your husband as if he's a boy. Be commanding him everywhere. No. As a married woman, respect your husband. Marriage hardly changes people. Christianity does not mean you should smell and be unpresentable. Your husband says, this is how I want you to dress. You are saying, our church, that's not how they dress. Go and marry the pastor of your church. Dress well. Look good. Some of you are Christians, but you are not enjoying your marriage or marriages. No romance. No good marriages built on the streets. Work on your marriage. Marriage is hard work. Work on it. Don't marry a lazy person. As a woman, do something. Don't just go into a marriage and say, I'm now married. Somebody will be feeding me. The era we are now, no man can meet all your needs. Men are looking for cow owners. Spend quality time with your children. The generation of your children will either bless you or curse you, depending on what you send to them. Your child is an arrow in your hand. Don't break another person's home because you want to be married. Every woman is the same. There is nothing you will get in a girl outside your marriage that your wife does not have. If you think your wife is not dressing well, rebrand her. It takes discipline not to be involved in adultery in marriage. Married women, let me quickly chip this in for you. You must have a minimum of 2 night wears. The first one
on Rich Nation WBPT podcast, the #1 podcast in the world. We introduce you to the people and ideas, and we bring people together. Today we have one, and none other. Funke Adejumo is the president of the Funke Adejumo Foundation. She is a female enthusiast and philanthropist. Her unique unction and utterance has endowed her to the hearts of millions of people that have listened to her at conferences and seminars around the world. She has a great passion for womanhood, with a divine purpose on earth, honoring God and blessing humanity. This vision has transformed into many works, such as the established Grace Orphanage, the construction of the Children's Hospital, and other great works that God is doing through her. Her foundation is dedicated to making worldwide impact, with a special call to restoring dignity to womanhood and equipping women from all over the world. She has authored over 50 book titles such as 50 Lessons Life Taught Me, My Seed is Designed for the Palace, and many others. She is married to Bishop Felix, Remy Adejumo, and their most blissful home is blessed with 2 men, 2 women, 5 grandchildren, and many adopted children. She is the mother of the Agape family worldwide. Hers is a story of a woman helped by God. Please help me welcome Funke Adejumo. I hope you guys enjoy the wisdom and pursue your dream and joy.
Let's begin by saying a few things again to the singles. Number 1, choose wisely. Marriage is not a weekend affair. Marriage is a lifetime event. Choose wisely. When you get married, you have invited someone to invade your privacy. That's the person you want to spend the rest of your life on earth with. You cannot afford to be careless and to choose anyhow. The fact that somebody is in church does not mean that that person is your spouse. Choose wisely. And one of the wisest ways to choose is to commit thy way unto the Lord. Proverbs 3. Trust also in him, from verse 6 to 9, and he shall direct your path. The first time God chose a woman for a man, the man turned back to blame God. Genesis chapter 2, Genesis chapter 3. When God said, Adam, why did you do this? Adam said, the woman you gave me. From that day, God decided not to be giving a woman to a man. He says, whosoever findeth. So, the meek he guides in judgment. Psalm 25, he guides you. But he will not say, behold thy wife. So that you will not blame him like your forefather did. Choose wisely. Involve God. Seek God. Number 2, marry from your tribe. When I say your tribe, I don't mean Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa. No. Marry from your tribe. If you are a born-again child of God, 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse number 14, you cannot, 2 Corinthians 6:14, you cannot marry an unbeliever. Don't go and be the fourth wife in one Alaji's house because you think you are 37 and you are not yet married. Don't marry someone and tell yourself that you are going to convert the person. You are not the Holy Spirit. Let me tell you this truth. It may be bitter. Marriage hardly changes people. Marriage amplifies who people are. Marriage is neutral. It's like money. If you are a very good person, kind-hearted person, and you now have money, you will be kinder. You will affect God's kingdom on earth more, better. Many people will go to bed thanking God for you. If you are a wicked person and you now have money, now money misroad be that. Because you're going to be wickeder, quote and unquote. You're going to be more wicked. It's the same thing with marriage. Marriage amplifies who people are. Marriage hardly changes people. So don't marry someone and say, he's going to change. I know he will change. I trust God that she will change. Marry from your tribe. And when I talk about tribe, it doesn't even mean that because that person is born again, you should marry the person. This matter not tribe by tribe. Let me simplify it for you. One nation of Israel, but 12 tribes. Know your tribe and marry from your tribe. If, for instance, as a lady, you believe in makeup, you believe you can leave your hair open, you don't need to tie scarf, you believe you can spot your jeans, you believe you can chop life and still go and chop heaven. But the person that wants to marry you believes that you must always wear pneumonia scarf, cocoa sack dress, no makeup, no jewelry because souls are perishing, does not believe in honoring servants of God, does not believe in payment of tithe, does not believe in seed. He's not from your tribe. It doesn't mean he's a bad person. It doesn't mean he cannot be a great husband, but he's not from your tribe. Religion in Latin means religionem. And what does that mean? To bind fastly together. Religion plays a very crucial role in relationship. So, marry from your tribe. I'm not condemning any tribe because this is the reason the cross has 4 entrances. Come with makeup, come without makeup. Come with scarf, don't come with scarf. Just come to the cross. If you believe in scarf and I don't tie scarf, it is not in your place to condemn me. To my master I stand or I fall. If you see my wedding picture, you will cry for my mother. 39 years ago, I got my wedding dress from England. But those days you had to show your pastor's wife your wedding dress. So I took it to my pastor's wife and she looked at me and said, Sister Funke, you cannot wear these when souls are perishing. As if souls had not been perishing before my wedding. Are souls still not perishing now? So she made me one cocoa sack. No jewelry, no makeup on my wedding day. I looked at the It's myself, and I said to myself, I'm going to redo this thing. So when our marriage clocked 25 years, my husband and I had to do a renewal. I wore the gown that I wanted to wear. Got it from the US. I was a bride. I'm looking forward to the 40th wedding anniversary next year. They will take. Christianity does not mean you should smell and be unpresentable. For 10 years, I didn't wear jewelries. The first time I put on a very tiny jewelry, my husband looked at me and said, "You look like a woman." For 10 years, it had been a man married to a man. Ordinary earring has scattered some marriages. Your husband says, "This is how I want you to dress." You are saying, "Our church, that's not how they dress." Go and marry the pastor of your church. When you are married, you dress to please only 3 people. Number 1, God. Let God be pleased no matter who is offended. Number 2, your spouse. Number 3, yourself. Every other person is a noise of the market. Dress well. Look good. Married women, let me quickly chip this in for you. You must have a minimum of 2 night wears. The first one is the regular night wear. You can wear that one whether the children are there or not, whether anybody is there. The second one is what I call transparent honesty. You wear that one when the doors are locked. You wear that one, and as the name implies, nothing under. For no justifiable reason, you just stand up. You walk to the bathroom for nothing and you come back. Some of you are Christians, but you are not enjoying your marriage or marriages. No romance. You are in the kitchen for 2 hours. Your husband is watching Arsenal. What are you cooking? Put a little fish in your mouth, tiptoe behind him and tickle him. When I tickle my husband like that and he does like that, I say, "You are not even a virgin." I keep telling you, marry your friend. Marriage is hard enough for you not to marry a friend. Sex is not 24 hours every day. So there must be something that you both lean on. Put the fish in his mouth. As a man, carry your wife. My husband, I told you we've been married next year's 40 years. He still lifts me up and turns me around. It increases his anointing. He puts me on his back. Bring romance to your marriage. Your children do not have eject buttons. If you want to know the kind of marriages your children will have, look at your own very well. It takes 13 muscles on our face to smile. It takes 69 to frown. This is science. This is psychology. So if you're always frowning in the house, everything is co. Uncle, you are going to age. Laugh. Be happy. In your marriage, bring joy. Be the best of friends. No good marriage is built on the streets. Work on your marriage. Marriage is hard work. Work on it. Your marriage is different from another person's own. Don't endure it, enjoy it. So marry from your tribe. Number 3, don't marry a lazy person. Man or woman, do not marry a lazy person. You tie towel, 11 a.m. You are praying in tongues in the house. Instead of going out to work, God is saying, what's he saying? What exactly is he saying? Work hard. It is a shame for you to be looking for school fees. Quote me and post it on Instagram. It is a shame because your child gave you 17-year notice. The day you were getting married, the child was telling you, "I'm going to come in 2 years' time. I'm coming in next year. Prepare." Some of you are wearing as wig the cement you should have bought for your houses. Some of you are here today. You have 3 telephones. You have Apple, you have Samsung, you have this, you have that, and you don't have 1 share of that company. Some of you are on YouTube every day, Facebook, Instagram, and you don't have the shares. You are making other people wealthy. Some of you can drink Coke, you can drink Fanta, not 1 share. Warren Buffett, 1999, his share, 1 share was $10. Today, his share is over $440,000, 1 share. People that bought it there, they just said 0.0000 something, and they sent their children to Harvard. What are you doing? I'm speaking to both men and women. I thank God for the ministers that are here. But let me tell you something. If there's nothing you are doing between Monday and Saturday, you cannot be called a full-time minister. My husband and I are in full-time ministry and full-time business. This is what I sell. I have studio. I sell food. I have 8 brands of perfumes made in the UAE for FFA. I have restaurants. She was talking about swimming pool. Every Monday I collect money. When I decided to go back to school at 60 to study law, I'm now in part 3 because I want to stand for women. I don't want to stand for them just from the point of view of a preacher. I've preached. What have I not preached? But I want to begin to stand and represent them from the point of view of the law. So any man wants to mess up with them, I tell him, let's meet in court. Because you have no right to maltreat any other human being. Either you're a man or you're a woman. I want to speak for the girl child. When you wake up, it's your morning. The latest research now says that the most productive years of a person's life is between 60 and 80. So some of you have not even started. I'll be 61 in a few weeks' time. I know how many kilometers I've done today. You see the way I was jumping up, 5 kilometers every day. I walk. 11 p.m. You sit down there. Bring me pandadia. To even sit is a problem. The person is bringing the pandadia and say, Martina, make it cold. Add ice cubes, After that, you are looking for ice cream because you are watching Africa Magic Igbo. Standing up just a little in church for praise and worship. Small like this, you are seated. Everything you are doing. May you not labor in vain. Laziness is a sickness. The book of Proverbs tells us all that. Don't marry a lazy person. As a woman, do something. Don't just go into a marriage and say, I'm now married. Somebody will be feeding me. The era we are now, no man can meet all your needs. Men are looking for car owners. You see the way the men are looking at me. They are looking for car owners. You say, if I have a car now, no man will marry me. It's a lie. The man will marry you well with your car. He will drive the car, drop you off at work, and drive it to his office as if it is his own. And that takes me to the next point. Bring value to the table. Fathers, raise your girls so that no man can mess them up. Prepare them for marriage. Invest into them. Pour into them. Job chapter 12 and verse number 3. What you know, I am not inferior to you. Job chapter 13 and verse 2. Job 12:3, Job 13:2. What you know, I am not inferior to you. It's important for you to raise the girl child. Marry from your tribe. Don't marry a lazy person. Be sure. From there, I want to move to parenting. I will end with marriage. Those of you that are parents here, there are 4 major things you should do for your children. Because when we talk about relationship, it's not just about singles and married. Relationship with your child is also important. Colossians chapter 3, beginning from verse number 18, you will see how God expects us to relate when we talk about relationships. Between you and your children, you have only 3 seasons. First season, you are in charge. Sit down, come here. Yes, daddy, yes, mommy. Second season, he's in charge of his life. How many of you called your parents in the village to take permission before you came here tonight? Maybe very few, insignificantly few. Because this season, you're in charge of your life. Hello, mom. I'm at the airport now. I'm on my way to Germany. Hey! Tochuku! Yes, mom, it's an emergency. You didn't take permission from her. It's a phase. It's a stage. The last stage, the child is in charge of his life and your life. You went to a visit. I want... What do you eat here? Gari and alpha. Mama, we cannot produce that tonight. Just say bread. Okay. I want to go to the specialist hospital. Mama, we've not collected our salary. They even put you in the car. It's okay. How you treat your children in the first season is how they will treat you in the last season. Invest into your children. Number 1, know your child. If you have 4 children, they are differently unique and uniquely different. Know your child. And how do you know your child? Is by spending quality time with your child. You may not have quantity time. I know we live in a fast world now. And I'm speaking to both the fathers and the mothers. Please spend quality time with your children. Know the number you will have. That's the reason you should not be pregnant every year. You have boys, you have girls. You are looking for hermaphrodites. What are you looking for? Some of you ladies, I need to say this to you. You are looking for one sex. So you have 5 children. Some even have 14. One woman died while she was trying to have the night child because she was looking for a boy. My Oyibo friend said to me, she committed suicide. You know them, how they speak. She committed suicide. What are you looking for? I'm so sorry to say this. If you kill yourself, in 1 year, the man will remarry. In fact, while you are still in the mug, God forbid, he's going to tell somebody, can you please go and make some hot chocolate for me? And the person is going to some toast. I've not eaten since when? 2 days. I went to visit, to commiserate with one great person that lost his wife. And I wanted to sign the condolence register. And I saw a statement that drew my attention. Don't worry, sir, we will take care of you. Some people are waiting. So don't say, I trust my husband. Just leave that area. Let's not talk. Just leave that area. Take care of yourself. Take a good care of yourself. Don't kill yourself. Which one no be picking? My father says to me, you are better than 7 sons. What are you talking about? In fact, let me tell you something. Those of you that have boys, if you never have girl, you never born finish you. Or pray that God will give your boys correct wives. Who will bury you? Who will cover you in the evening of your life? Girls. When you give birth to a girl, celebrate very well. When a man gets married, he gets married or he goes. When a woman gets married, now her family you marry. Her parents in particular, her siblings. You see them everywhere. There's something about it. Don't kill yourself because you are looking for a sex, a particular gender. Be grateful for whatever God has given to you. Spend quality time with your children. Because like I said yesterday, the generation of your children will either bless you or curse you, depending on what you send to them. Your child is an arrow in your hand. Bless your generation with it. Number 2, I said know your child. Number 2, love your child. Fathers, learn to hug your children. I know while growing up you didn't see that with your parents, but please start it. Don't perpetuate the mistakes that our parents made. Love on your children and show them that they are loved. Create time for them. Watch movies with them. Read books with them. Play with them. Once in a while, my husband, when our kids were young, all of them are married now, he would just put them in the car, even without me, and drive. Sometimes he would go to one university, make them sit on the grass, tell them, his life story. Explain life to them. Fathers, there are 4 kinds of fathers and mothers. Number 1, absentee parents. Number 2, abusive parents. Number 3, permissive parents. Number 4, participatory parents. And I don't have the time to be breaking them down. Don't be abusive. Bars. Don't be an absentee father or mother. Don't be permissive. Be participatory. It will shock you. Once in a while, I just go to my children's section of the house and I'm wondering, where are they? When did they grow up? When did I born this speaking? They don't go. You'll be wishing. So spend time with them now. One man died in the state where I live. His children removed all the car keys and the house keys and they placed the bunch on his chest in the casket. I said, Dad, you forgot your keys. Be present. Love them and show them. My husband and I, we write love letters to our children. When they get married, we give it to them. I remember our last born, my husband said, you were the one all of us waited for before we took off into greatness. Those things help the children. Breathe into them. Be vulnerable enough. There was a point in our marriage, our children said, no, our parents don't quarrel. They don't. We brought them in. Said, look, our bedroom is our courtroom. We want you to be involved. We misunderstand because we are human beings. There's no perfect marriage. But as we grow, times of misunderstanding reduce. So one day, my husband said, come and be the judge over this matter. And they were telling us, Mom, you shouldn't have said that. Dad, you too, you should have done this, and all that. Prepare them for life. Number 3, train your child. Train your child. When I meet a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, I can tell if this one has what we call native intelligence. Train your child. And when I talk about training, let me mention these things. I'm saying you should put values in your children. Number 1, spiritual values. God does not have grandchildren, so lead your children to the Lord. They may not be able to, they should even be able to know the dates. Give them a Bible. Let them write it. This is the day I gave my life to Jesus. I got born again on so date. Personally lead your children to the Lord, or maybe there was a program and they gave their lives to Jesus. Follow up. Minister the baptism of the Holy Spirit to them. You will not always be present in their lives. You can't be in the class every time. What you put in them, when life asks them questions, those are the answers. Spiritual values. Let your children love God. Let them know God. Let them honor God. Don't ever let your child be running around in church and be beating the drums. These are not ordinary things. They are instruments of worship. Don't let your child be running around and be making a noise and be misbehaving because it's your child. And you are looking away. Train your children. Give them spiritual values. That's the reason you cannot, during your meals at home, be tearing down ministers of God. Tearing down your pastor. You are confusing your children. And then you get to church and say, Mama, Mama, I thank God for you. The child is confused. What are you saying? We heard all that you said in the house. And you wonder why some people do not prosper. The Bible says, curse not your father. No, curse not the king. I'm coming to that scripture. Curse not the king, not even in your bedchamber. For the bird of the air will carry it. This is one of the most thankless jobs on earth, the work of a pastor. You have no idea what pastors and pastors' wives go through. I'm speaking to you now, standing here for 1 hour. Scientists have discovered that it takes 13 hours of my life. 1 hour of preaching. They said it's like loading a trailer. Because my mental whatever is involved, I had to pray. I'm sweating. You all are sitting down. Enjoy the fan. So imagine someone that does it every time. Mondays, Sundays, Wednesdays. And you still tear them down. You still discourage them. You look at their children and you say all sorts. Some of you ladies, you love the men of God. We thank God for you, sir. On Instagram, you will post and comment. Daddy, daddy. The Elijah of our time. And you see your pastor's wife, you say, bless you. Because some of us are married to the men you will give anything to sleep with. Pastor D, did I tell you of one lady that walked up to my husband's office to propose marriage to him? That's why he's very handsome, so I understand. Hey, my husband said, darling, can you imagine? Sister so and so, to propose marriage. Pastor Patrick, to propose marriage to my husband. You can see any other husband, not my husband. Do you know what I put into that marriage? When the man was wearing coat, not suit. When I was spending 5 naira to prepare stew. Where were you when I was pushing his Volkswagen car? Now I'm riding Range. Sometimes I tell the drivers, please, I don't want anybody to drive me. I don't want anybody. Oh! See the man. Do you know what I have put into this marriage? When my husband, I said, who has a gun? He said, what? I said, you know what they use a gun for? You propose to my husband. What did do you? You well? Some of you ladies, you don't know what it has taken for that man to look like this. 15 years ago, nobody will have touched him with the longest of poles. There's no first wife that does not labor over her marriage. Please, as a single person, 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 9. A great and effectual door has been opened unto me, but there are many adversaries. Don't be my adversary. Some ladies' lives are scattered today because you were sleeping with a man that you don't know The standing of the wife before God. That woman went naked 12 in the night to curse whoever is troubling her marriage. And God is not fair. God is just. Don't break another person's home because you want to be married. Let me tell you the truth. Yesterday, my heart bled as I was doing my morning walk along that hotel where you put me. I saw these two ladies at different times. You could tell that they were prostitutes. My heart broke. The mother in me, one of them, they even gave her a ride. After they were done with her, and I think she collected her money, she came to where the car was and was telling the driver, "Good morning, sir." So you can tell. Madam cannot be telling husband's driver, "Good morning, sir." I shook my head. Then I went on my walk. I saw this one. This one, after they have finished using her with her high heel, her skirt, her dress was like this. They did not even give her a ride. And the journey is long. I was on video with my husband as I was doing it. I said, "Darling, look, see. See her. It does not worth it." Train your child. Give your child spiritual value. Number 2, give your child societal value. There's beauty in honor. Give your children societal value. Let them know who to genuflex, who to kneel down to greet, who to bow to greet. Let them know they should obey traffic lights. Let them know they should obey the police. Let them know that when the national anthem is being sung, they should stand. Teach them at home. Give them societal values. Let them know public behaviors, private behavior. I was having breakfast, and my God, I saw some people eating, and the way they were shouting, I would just turn like this. You can tell. Some people, yes, hello. You're wondering what? I understand sometimes, because when Nitel first came, we used to queue. And if you wanted to talk to me in Akure from Uyo, you'll be shouting. So now that we have mobile phones, some of us have forgotten that it's now, hello! You're shouting, you're on the phone. Everybody cannot sleep. Teach your children ethics, etiquette. That they don't need to show their cleavage as girls, their breasts, to show that they are relevant in the society. That they don't need to wear skimpy and be pulling it and pulling it and pulling it. Because honestly, no man will marry you. Men can be territorial. A man wants to own his property. When a man has sex with you, he feels that he has conquered you. You can't be opening up everything in the name of fashion. Transparent dresses. Call me old school, it doesn't matter. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 14. Even nature teaches decency. We dress to glorify God. Number 3, give your children financial values. Let your children know that they don't have to buy everything. Teach them delayed gratification. Teach them how to save. Teach your children how to spend money. Explain money to your children. Teach your children the integrity of hard work. Teach them how not to be beggarly. Teach your children as daughters, you don't need to be financially dependent on your husband. Whatever your husband gives you should be an extra. Have your own. Do something with your life. Raise your kids very well. And number 4, pray for your children. Where your hand cannot get to, God's hands get there. Pray for your children. I'm done with parenting. I've spoken to singles. I want to talk about adultery. And I'm standing on Proverbs chapter 5 and Proverbs chapter 6. Adultery is a destroyer of trust in relationship. And I want to speak to the men first. Biologically speaking, every woman is the same. There is nothing you will get in a girl outside your marriage that your wife does not have. If you think your wife is not dressing well, rebrand her. Repackage her. Just tempt her with $10,000 or $20,000. Send her to New York. By the time she returns, you won't believe this is your wife. When my husband sees anything he likes, he buys for me. Sometimes he will buy and hide under the car seat and say, "Darling, as you are going, check the car seat." Sometimes he will put it in the washing machine, sometimes under my pillow. It takes discipline not to be involved in adultery in marriage. In fact, I guess there will be Yoruba people here. In my language, adultery, when you translate it, it means collector of profit. Agbere. You have worked and worked and worked and worked. I say, bring it. You see it in Proverbs 5. You see it in Proverbs 6. Can a man carry fire in his bosom and not be burnt? It's a destroyer of destiny. A part of you is going with that person. And sometimes you don't even know what this person has. I'm still doing a research. I've not even really had time because of my school. Because I saw something somewhere that says when you sleep with somebody, the ill luck of that person is transferred. You partake of it. I'm still going to Google it and try and find out. They said they're still doing, and they even say that the person you slept with 15 years ago till now, you cannot be sleeping around. It removes dignity from you as a man. It reduces the respect that you should have had. To even manage one woman is work, not talk of two. They are wasters. Build your marriage. Be involved. If you need help, seek professional help. Rather than sleeping around and collecting all sorts of spirits, all sorts of evil. Some of these Delilahs, they want your pocket, they want your money, they want what you have. They're not ready to marry you. Or if they want to marry you, they want to destroy the peace of your home. What story do you want to tell your children tomorrow? Sleeping around. It's not of God. And in case you're here, maybe you're even a man or you're a woman, and your spouse committed adultery, you're going to go through 5 stages. I don't have the time to break everything down. Let me just quickly say it. Because you are human. Trust is affected. Number 1, you're going to go through shock. Number 2, you're going to go through denial. It's a lie. No, it didn't happen. Today did not do it. Number 3, you're going to go through grief. Sometimes if you're not careful, you spend your entire life. It's the same thing with someone that is a widow or a widower. You go through these 5 stages too. Sometimes you are fine, sometimes you are not. Roller coaster feelings and emotions. Sometimes you're on top of the world. Sometimes you're down. You don't even want to see anybody. But from grief, and if you want to cry, cry. Let the tears flow. There's something it does to our brains when we cry. But you cannot afford to let your health be affected because of crying. And from there, you move to healing. That's the 4th stage. It's a matter of time. When you get to healing, you will remember that situation, but there will be no pain like it first happened. And from that healing, you get to restoration. I'm scared about what I see these days. The way people just throw away their marriages because of one little thing. One small thing. Marriage is what? Come and ask me now. Sometimes you wake up and you are wondering, are we still married? With all that happened yesterday. I'm a very real person. So I won't deceive you and say, oh, my marriage is a bed of roses. No. But it's not also a field of thorns. It's a commitment. That look, we're going to build this relationship. We're going to provide a safe haven for our children. We're going to be an example to people. We're going to be an inspiration to people. Jesus must be honored. Must be honored. When you hear me singing that song, Pastor Dara, in the house, it means something is happening, and I'm trying to just tell myself, behave. Behave. Funke, behave. Jesus must be. My husband said, you have started your song again. I'm just saying, behave. Just, you must honor Jesus. Marriage is hard work. Sometimes you feel like quitting. Stop throwing away your marriage just because of one issue. If your life is at stake, it's a different thing. If you're not safe, it's a different thing. And it doesn't even mean divorce. Step out into safety. Because abusive relationship, no. No. You can stay in an abusive relationship. This will shock you. Because I have a home for women that are in abusive. I remember when we were running that home, one woman that one of our criminologists interviewed, the husband would say to her, kneel down, face the wall, Raise your 2 hands up. After 3 children. In Lagos, not my village. And after 15 minutes, stand up. You goat, you this, you that. Go and clean yourself and prepare something for me in the kitchen. And when you are done, set the table, then go and wait for me in my bedroom. So, madam, why did you stay there? I don't have money. I don't have anywhere to go. Women, wake up. Wake up. A man cannot be treating you as trash. And because you don't have 1 million naira, you stay there. Be empowered. I told you yesterday, it's not every woman that a man can slap and beat. It's not every woman that a man can tell to pack. So be empowered. And it's not only women that are being abused. Men are also being abused. Men reach out to me. A woman, she sprayed pepper spray on the man. The man is in Abuja now. He ran. He fled from that house. Now they are talking about DNA, because a lot of rubbish is going on. Rubbish. I mean rubbish. I've had to cancel men. Yes, when we did the DNA, the first child is my own, but the second child. Hey! Women, what is going on? Let's stop this rubbish. Let us stop this rubbish. I know that women are being empowered now. God is blessing us. The alabaster boxes of ointment God is giving to us. Now we can buy tickets to Dubai. Now we too we can pay school fees. Now we too we can do whatever we like with our money. But excuse me, do not repeat the mistake that some men made when God blessed men. During the oil boom, during cocoa boom, they started marrying the second wife, marrying the third wife, kicking their wives out. Do not repeat the mistake that some foolish men made. Now that you have something as a woman, let's keep the sanctity of marriage. Marriage is sweet, depending on the cutlery you use to eat it. I mean, prove that you can still enjoy your marriage. The greatest need of a man is not sex. So don't think you can, I'll punish him with sex. If the man is not born again, they can get it from any prostitute. The greatest need of a man is not food. Hey, the way to the heart of a man is food. That was then. Things are changing. Hebrews 1:1. There are good restaurants. They can cook better than you do. So what are you cooking? And let me pause to say this to some of you men, that when you are angry, you will now leave food for 3 days. You are not hungry. When you are hungry, you go and microwave the food. It's a sign of immaturity to now abandon food. Abandon your house because you are hungry. You will not eat. You are a boy. That's not right. The greatest need of a man is respect. Psychologists have proved that. Public respect, private respect. As a married woman, respect your husband. If you know you cannot respect a man, don't get married. Your husband may be as short as a bottle. He's your husband. He's the head in that home. He's the king in that home. Give him honor. Some of you can kneel down for every Dick and Harry in church. Even a dog, you can kneel down. We thank God, bless you. We thank God. But when you get home, your husband is nothing. You'll be telling your husband, if not that I waited, if not that I was 30-something, who will have married you? And you know, men are masqueraders. Few words. Most men, it has been shown that a woman speaks a minimum of 250,000 words per day. Minimum. Come here, sit down. Well, don't kill me. Bring the bottle. A man speaks 25,000. Tight. When a woman wants to tell you how she came to see me at the hotel. Let's begin with the man. The man will say, I saw FFA. I gave her the book. She sent her greetings. A woman wants to tell you the same thing. A woman will say, my dear, when I left in the morning, I first entered. Then I came back to the room. I forgot, you know that ruler? I forgot it. Then I came back to take it. I got into the car. You will not believe it. Kasali did not wash the car. All this woman wants to tell you is that she went to sleep. So I carried the mat. I cleaned it. Pipe was not even flowing. Then I saw, you know, that's our neighbor. That's our neighbor. That woman, she was waving. I didn't even see her on time. I said, madam. Then I tried to start the car. You know, you taught me last week that I should first press. I I've forgotten. I carried my phone. I had to go to Google to ask. And I started it. And the thing just made one sound, but eventually. Then I remember that I had not taken my water bottle. I left the car running. I went to take my water bottle. Do you know that our governor is trying? As I was driving to that hotel, the road, they now have new cleaners. The man is saying, Jesus, marriage is for mature men. We just want you to listen to us. If you look at the book of Genesis chapter 3, when the devil through the serpent tempted Eve, the serpent spoke 14 words. Count it in King James's version. Eve replied with 44. So we took it from her. Men are headliners. Men are hunters. I said all that to say, learn to respect your husband. You cannot be treating your husband like a moron. You cannot be treating your husband as if he's a boy. Be commanding him everywhere. No. Even if you trained abroad, madam, calm down. Otherwise, go and marry your certificate. Some of you can serve guests. The water, even if the guest did not want to eat the food before, by reason of the way you dish the food, the guest will eat. But your husband, as soon as the guests leave, you will pack all the plates and put them, be greeting them every Saturday morning. Your husband's plate, what you have been using for him since creation of state, is what you are still using. The cutlery, the spoon. Honor him. There are 3 things inside every husband. A little boy that wants to play, let the man play. Sometimes men are like what do you call this thing that you put? Elastic, rubber band. The man sometimes wants to pull away. He just wants to be on his own. Let him be. Let him be. He will come back to you. Be secure enough. Let the little boy in him play. Sometimes he wants to play table tennis. Sometimes he wants to hang out with the boys. Marriage is about relationship, not only ownership. Stop choking the man. What did you say? What did you do? What did you write? Who did you text? Who did you call? Madam, you will have hypertension. This life. Trust him to God. This is what God keeps that is kept. You can be there like this 24 hours and the man is committing adultery. Commit him to God. You're a pastor's wife. Oh, you will see plenty. People that are finer than you are in church. That's why your self-esteem must be correct. The man will always come back to you. That's why you cannot afford to be dressing like you are 67 at 37. Who is looking at me? Panel beating and then your husband goes to church and he sees people. He goes to his office and he sees people. Madam, you must learn to be a different woman to your husband part time. Today it is wig. Tomorrow it is braids. Next tomorrow it is boo-boo. Next one it is short skirt. Next one it is jeans and strapless. For your husband, you are permitted to tempt him. Help him. Men are hunters. You see them while they are driving, they are adjusting the mirror just because a girl passed. Men, I know you now. They are adjusting the mirror. It's disrespectful for you to be commending a woman to let another person be closer to you than your wife. Women, by being women, we have the ministry of suspicion. It's our ministry. So don't blame us. We need reassurances. You have to keep on assuring our hearts. My husband called me just before I came. Video. I said, darling, we just spoke. He said, if I want to be calling you every time I'm thinking about you, you won't do anything. I just called to just love on you. Which woman will not like that? 5 hours, you are forgotten. Your wife calls you, you are even cutting the phone. Just an ordinary text. Send a message, I'm in a meeting. Why are you troubling me? You're always calling. Don't get lost, though. What does a woman want in a man? Let me mention maybe 1 or 2. A woman wants validation. As a woman ages, she's feeling that she's no longer as attractive. You are her mirror. Please be involved in her life. Validate her. Tell her, you'll be my babe for life. Words of affirmation. You know there are 5 love languages. Know which one is your wife. Your wife's. Validate her. We were at a program one day and a lady was singing. There was a couple there. We were there too, my husband and I. And only for us to get home, it wasn't a church program, it was a meeting in town, but we were invited many years ago. We got home, and as we were packing, just going upstairs, this couple came. I said, we just finished the program. Said, we fought from the venue. The wife also sings. The woman says, when I was singing, I was also a special guest. My husband did not even say anything. He did not clap for me. When this woman was singing, he was just clapping. He was just standing up. He was just shouting. He was just, you know how little things cause problems in marriages. And I was just managing. We now got into the car. He was just saying, that woman can sing. You are killing the woman. When last did you surprise your wife? When last did you buy her a gift? I'm not talking about her birthday. When last did you date your wife? Some of you are so busy. Please, I beseech you. This woman was made for you. This man was made for you. After this conference, take a break. Go out. If you can travel out, fantastic. Ghana, wherever. 2 nights. Go there. You'll be able to have sex the different styles you want without a child peeping, without somebody saying the bed is making a noise. Yeah. Work on your marriage. I want to pray with you. Lord, I bless every marriage here. We have danced before you. I ask that grace will speak on every relationship. I frustrate every token of the enemy in Jesus' name.